The story of KFC in Ireland centers around a man named Pat Grace, an Irishman who immigrated to Canada in 1957. In 1970, while visiting Toronto, he met Colonel Harlan Sanders, who kept a house in Mississauga. Pat came to love Kentucky Fried Chicken and greatly admired Sanders' dedication to his recipe and the way he maintained the quality of food across his restaurants. The two became close friends, and the Colonel gave Grace his blessing to open the first KFC franchises in Ireland. Pat would go on to own and manage 8 of the restaurants in his native country. As Kentucky Fried Chicken continued to grow both in the US and abroad, Colonel Sanders became discouraged with the changes that corporate figures wanted to make to the ingredients in his recipes in order to save money, compromising quality control for cost-cutting mass production. It should also be remembered that while KFC's secret 11 herbs and spices recipe is regarded as probably the most well-protected industrial food secret today, along with the Coca-Cola recipe, Colonel Sanders himself used to be pretty open about his cooking techniques and would talk about them publicly. After Colonel Sanders died in 1980, KFC looked to amalgamate all of their international branches under one structure, with uniform recipes and ingredients. They also sought to cut costs by changing suppliers and ingredients, and with the Colonel no longer objecting, they planned to implement their changes across all of their franchises. Pat Grace was strongly opposed to these changes and the compromises that the Central KFC Corporation were making, and saw them as a disgrace to the Colonel's vision and commitment.
Pat Grace has gone from being a not-too-successful horse trader and door-to-door salesman to being a millionaire twice over. Things started to go right for Pat Grace when he met the legendary Colonel Sanders and was converted to the taste and the profit margin of the finger-licking good poultry. Just lately, there's been a bit of a legal dust-up over the ingredients you're supposed to use in the batter that covers Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He would push back against them and attempted to maintain the KFC brand at his locations, but after a lengthy court battle, he was forced to change the name, now becoming Pat Grace's Famous Fried Chicken. Because of this, his recipe for the chicken spice remains the original given to him by Harlan Sanders when he started his businesses in Ireland, and he's kept the exact same recipe over the years, just under a different name. Pat Grace died in 2009, and the business was left to his 3 children who still manage it. The family decided to sell the brick-and-mortar restaurants and have moved exclusively to supplying ingredients and spices to other restaurants as well as for people to cook at home. The spice recipe that matches the original KFC is their Strong Blend. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I have tried the Strong Blend and it's great. It does taste exactly like KFC. I used an air fryer and I think I'd use a deep fryer next time. That's the one element that's missing for the taste and texture, but it was excellent. So if you're looking to have a taste of KFC as it once was, there is a way.